If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.
5 weird things women find attractive in men. While there are your usual everyday things that are on lists about what women find attractive in men, there are also the odd, non-typical things. We all know the basic laws of attraction and what draws us to the person we happen to be falling for. There are physical aspects, paired along with intellect, and a sense of humor, that obviously draw us into another person's orbit. But, oddly enough, there are aspects that tend to get overlooked and or lost in the muddle mix of attraction, those little things that capture our attention in a physical way and makes us fall for a man if you're a straight woman. Whether it's the odd way they blink their eyes, hey, it's possible, or their silly, crooked smile that you find endearing, these are certain things you usually don't find on your everyday attraction list. Here are 5 odd, non-typical things that women find attractive in the opposite gender. 5. Is he a geek? Yes please. If you've ever watched an episode of The Big Bang Theory, there's a specific reason why all those lovable dorks are able to draw in those incredibly gorgeous women. Geeks are seriously hot, even if they're not physically attractive. Their intelligence and geekiness sets them apart from all the other men. Being a geek can be a wide variety of things. Are they into comic books? Vintage video games? Computer nerds? Russian literature savants? All those are the best types of geeks. Geeky men are usually highly self-sufficient. Don't fall for that, but he lives in his parents' basement at 39 Bull, in that they know how to live out in the world with their geekiness. True geeks are usually shy as hell, also on the list, so it can take some effort in order to draw them out of their shells. But once you do, it's so well worth it. 4. Loving food. There is seriously nothing sexier than a man who loves food and every aspect about it. This means having a very wide palate too. Women can't really stand men who only stick with the food they know that's picky and they aren't 6 years old anymore. The more adventurous a man is when it comes to food, the more adventurous he is when it comes to other things as well. It's also highly attractive if the man can cook as well. This isn't the 1950s anymore, and the woman shouldn't be expected to be a whiz in the kitchen. Those days are well over with. Men who can be culinary geniuses and enjoy trying new recipes to fix up are quickly snatched up by women. It's really a lost art, and when a man is in love with food and isn't afraid to express it, it's hot as hell. 3. Veiny forearms. Here's one I never will fully understand. I mean, are women who are drawn to men with veiny forearms nurses or something? Is a man suddenly more attractive if it's relatively easy to draw blood out of their arms on the first try? What veiny forearms do is show that a man is well hydrated and healthy, which can be the draw. People will notice that women enjoy talking about this particular feature, even if you don't see it on TV or in the movies. Women tend to be more drawn to men with veiny forearms, weirdly enough. This can represent the man's muscles and be an unlikely visual that they're reliable and strong and can probably protect you in potentially dangerous situations. This isn't always the case, though, but you have to admit that those men you're drawn to in Men's Health magazine tend to have arms that are on the veiny side. 2. Gray hair. One of the most attractive things I tend to be drawn to on a man is the hair on their head and their facial hair. And I'm a complete sucker when it comes to salt and pepper shaded hair. I don't know what it is. Even when I see it on young men in their 20s, I will tend to go more toward the man who has some gray in their hair rather than a guy who still has the hair of an 11-year-old boy. It shows experience and gives off this sort of professor vibe which can radiate intelligence. I was once dating a man who even wanted to try to put some gray in his beard just to see what it would look like, and I was all for it. Gray just screams wisdom to me. Why do you think so many people were drawn to Anderson Cooper all these years? Hello, Dreamboat. 1. Happy Trail. Growing up, this was a big thing in my group of girlfriends. When one of our boyfriends had a happy trail, we just had to discuss it all to death. We don't quite understand the lore, only that there was a lore. A man with a happy trail, and a well-groomed one at that, is beyond sexy. When a girl sees a man with a happy trail while sunbathing at the beach, it can be the equivalent of when a man sees cleavage on a woman. It's a suggestive vision. Some of us believe that a man's package isn't the most physically attractive thing on a man, but the happy trail suggests otherwise. It gets you thinking about what a man has going on down there. It's exciting and so very sexy.